In today's market, a lot of families are opting to buy manufacturers' SUVs or large SUVs instead of their minivans. Today we're going to be looking at the Chrysler Pacifica to see if that's a justified response to how minivans have progressed over the past couple of years. But first, huge shout out to Arsman, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram of Clarksville for getting us this vehicle today. If you need any of those vehicles or are in the DMV area, check out their website in the description below. Let's get into it. Moving on to the side of the Pacifica, we'll start with the mirrors. These are not power folding, but they are heated. Of course, looking at the whole side, you'll notice this really stunning billet silver color. It really does this vehicle justice. Of course, you have these black 18-inch alloy wheels, which are a part of that aforementioned S package. Of course, like all minivans, you do have power doors. These ones can be opened by the key. If you double tap the button on either side of the key respectively, it'll open whichever door you want. On the higher trims of this vehicle, you can get kick to open doors, but this one does not have those. Let's talk about the back of the Pacifica. Of course, you have LED taillights with the taillight bar stretching across the entirety of the back, which I really like as a modern look. But one thing I do not like is the badging for the hybrid. I do like their font, but I feel like this E is kind of weird looking. To open the back, you do have to reach down here, or you could double tap on the key to auto open the back. Once you're in the back, you're gonna have about 32 cubic feet of storage space with all the seats up. If you put these seats down by following the straps, you have one here, two up here. You have Jake right there. And this will give you about 87.5 cubic feet of storage space. And now one nice safety feature they do have, which was more so for younger kids, but we will demonstrate it with the man-child Jake, is you cannot put these seats down like that if someone is sitting here. If you pull the first lever and then try and pull the second lever, the seat will not budge. And of course, if you were to put this row down as well as the other rows, you would have 140.5 cubic feet of storage space. Let's move on to the trims. Starting at $40,300, you're gonna have the Touring like the one we have today. This one does not have the S appearance package. As you can see, the wheels are their normal dark grayish color. But the features the Touring will get you with the Stow and Go seats, the Uconnect 5, the 10-inch screen that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as the power doors and tailgate. Moving on to the Touring L, this is going to cost you about $42,600, and it'll get you the Super Console with the illuminated cup holders, perforated leather seats and steering wheel, as well as a heated first row seats and steering wheel. For $45,800, you get the Limited, which will get you the hands-free tailgate and doors, a wireless phone charger, and a Napa leather interior. Finally, for just over $51,200, you get the Pinnacle, which will get you the FamCam so you can see in the back row, the Uconnect theater with built-in games, and second row lumbar pillows. Under the hood of the Pacifica, you are going to find a hybrid engine. This is going to produce about 260 horsepower and about 235 net pound-feet of torque. Of course, you're going to get 30 miles per gallon average, and the electric range of this vehicle is also around 30 miles. This specific Pacifica does come in front-wheel drive, but it is available in all-wheel drive.
Let's talk safety. The Pacifica has a 5-star safety rating. It also comes with a pretty good standard suite of active safety features. For example, you're going to be getting lane keep assist. You're also getting lane departure alert. On top of that, you are getting a pedestrian detection system and a collision detection system and prevention braking system. And finally, you're getting adaptive cruise control.
All right, getting into the Pacifica, here is your key. It has metal sides to it, also metal buttons. The key has a really great weight to it. I'm gonna put my hand on the sensor and that will unlock the door. We do have the proximity key, of course. Getting in, Door has a little bit of a wobble to it, but you know, it feels high quality enough. To start the vehicle, all we're gonna do is put our foot on the brake and push the button to start. And you won't hear an engine start because this is the e-hybrid. It'll probably kick on soon because the battery is pretty low. Looking around the interior here, this is what we've come to expect from minivans. Everything is laid out. It is extremely functional. You can see that everything is very visual. It is large. When you're driving, it's going to be easy to reach. One thing that is not easy to reach, your center console. We'll talk about this a little more later in the video, but a real fear I have is, you know, you could see a driver reaching down to check their phone or whatever down here, and if they're not looking, they could get in an accident and the airbag's gonna, you know, do some real damage there. So that's just something important. You know, people driving minivans are really multitasking a lot of the time. They're looking after kids while driving, while organizing soccer practice. There's a lot going on, and making them reach all the way down there, I could see being a problem. Again, not that the driver should be doing that. It's not Chrysler's fault that they'd be doing that, but that is something I could see happening. You do have a lot of piano gloss black plastic right here where all of your touch points are. That's going to result in a lot of fingerprints, just something to keep in mind in a vehicle that tends to get dirty. Other than that, the material choices in here are pretty good. You have soft touch material all up here. The stitching works really well. The white stitching with the black interior works nicely. Your steering wheel feels great. It's a great thick steering wheel. Stellantis does a really good job with their leathers and their steering wheels, and the interior geometry is just, they did a good job of making it interesting yet practical with, you know, these protrusions right here and whatnot. It's an interesting place to look at, and of course your centerpiece is that 10-inch Uconnect screen we'll take a look at. But yes, let's get into this interior and take a deeper look.
Now we're taking a look at your Uconnect 5 infotainment screen. Chrysler says that it is 5 times faster than the old system, and I think they really knocked it out of the park here. First of all, customization. You can customize this bar down here. For example, if we want home over towards the middle, we can do that. You just click and drag, and there you go. So great little feature right there. But I think the coolest feature is the avatars. Now you can have up to 6 different driver profiles for this vehicle, and each of them can control different things like your music presets and a lot of your media, even some of your climate controls. For those who are interested, you can pause the video right here. You can see that Bluetooth, notifications, screen customization like we just saw, etc. are all linked to your driver profile. If you want some more details, there it is. But I want to show you the avatar. So you can edit your name, but you can also pick a little avatar. Now there are these 5 avatars, but those are all pretty boring. You can go maybe for something a little more exciting. You know, if we wanted an elephant, or, you know, we could go for, if you're feeling sporty, get an SRT badge, or even sportier, you can get a racing badge right there. Chrysler really went all in. You can even pick red or white, just plain colors if you'd like. They really went all in on these avatars, and I love it. I think they did something really fun there. Something that's not as fun but more useful is your PHEV screen. You can launch that. You can see where power is going throughout the vehicle. You can also schedule your charging, so if you wanted to charge at night when electricity is cheaper, you could do that. Or if you want to see your driving history, you can take a look at that there. I also just want to bring your attention to the screen quality. This whole time it's been very snappy, and it has excellent contrast and black levels. They really knocked it out of the park on this infotainment system. I think it's up there with like Ford and GM. Now all the domestic automakers having great infotainment screens. Now let's take a look at your center cluster. You can see you have 2 physical gauges flanking a screen. Stellantis products have always led the market when it comes to the center screen, at least in this price range. They've always been snappy and shown a great amount of information. For example, I can go down to vehicle info, and now when it comes to your oil life, all your temperatures are displayed here, nice and easy. Scrolling down from that, there are your driver assist right here, but what's interesting is your hybrid info. You get all sorts of fuel economy information here. You can see how far you've driven on battery, how far you have driven on your engine power, what the engine is doing, whether it's charging the battery or just powering the vehicle. There's just a wealth of information through here. You have a normal trip computer, along with just your typical audio and messages. So while the screen doesn't do anything extraordinary, it's extremely practical. And once again, like that center screen, you have really good contrast and no lag. Let me tell you about the seats. They are pretty comfortable. They're nice and firm, and they don't have a lot of bolstering though, so it doesn't feel like you're being hugged, but they are going to support your back and keep you upright while you're going on long trips. You do have power adjustment on the driver. The passenger side is manual in this particular Pacifica. This has the black cloth with a nice little insert to add some visual flair, along with the S logo stitched in, as this vehicle does have that S appearance package. Now, something to note is this is a cloth seat. Oftentimes people like to go for leather in the minivans because it's easier to wipe clean if you spill something on it. However, I have been told these seats are fairly easy to clean for cloth, so that is something to keep in mind if maybe you want to save some money or the spec you're looking at in particular only comes with cloth. These seats are generally pretty comfortable. Now we're going to start talking about your center console. Let's start right here where you have a really big area for phones. You can see that you can fit a phone in right there. You can also fit in 2 additional phones, maybe even 3 if they're small, down below that. You have 2 USB-A ports along with 2 USB-C ports and an aux. We love to see USB-C. That is future-proofing. You can pull out a little center cubby right here, which has coin holders and just a really deep amount of space. Closing that, this reveals the problem area I was discussing earlier. What's kind of neat is you can see you do have charging down there, but you also have all of the Chrysler minivans of the past, along with the new Pacifica, all lined up down there, which is neat. I really like that Chrysler uses these removable rubber liners right here, because if you spill and make a mess, you can easily pull it out and just dump that stuff outside. You have a large continuous cavern underneath here that goes all the way through to the back. You have 2 cup holders with these little nubs. They're not the good spring-loaded nubs that I usually like, but these will do. Followed by just some more storage area right here. Now, it's time for a new test that we are adding to Gas Guzzlers. This is called the Shadow Realm test, where we drop our own phones into a vehicle's shadow realm between the seat and the cubby, and we see if we can get it easily. So here we go. And the Pacifica passes with flying colors in our first test. Your phone just comes out really nicely right next to the center console. So if you drop your phone in between, you're good. Now you join me in the back of the vehicle. Plenty of legroom as we have come to expect. And as you can see, we have the captain's chairs right here, along with the $995 screen back here. Now, I should clarify, this is not the Uconnect theater. That is a separate option that the Chrysler Pacifica Pinnacle gets, and that's gonna give you 2 screens on the back of the front seats, and that's gonna allow your passengers to play games, watch whatever shows they want. However, this vehicle just has the normal CD player, and it comes with some official headphones, which I must say are actually the best headphones that I know of that have ever come with the car. They're acceptable quality. You could realistically use, I mean, they're high enough quality you would use these outside of an automotive application. They're nice and comfortable. My only fear with them is they are a little bit soft, so I wonder how they're gonna hold up in the long run with little kids, but they come with a nice carrying case too and charging cable. So really nice headphones, and you have this fun little screen here to keep the little Rugrats back here occupied. I could see it being useful for them to have some more storage, places to throw trash or whatnot back here. That's really the only additional thing I could see Chrysler doing. Other than that, they've done a great job back here. Now, one interesting thing about these seats is they are fully removable. Now, a lot of minivans do that, but on the Pacifica on higher trim levels, you can get stow and go second row seats where the seat folds all the way into the floor. That is a really cool, convenient feature. Also a cool, convenient feature I forgot to mention up front, you have a little umbrella holder right next to your front seat. Now let's talk about the third row. It is a YouTube car review, which means I have to climb in and make a spectacle of myself for likes and subscriptions. By the way, if you're liking this video, consider liking and subscribing for more weekly content. All right, here we go. As you can see, getting in is really easy. You just pull that lever and the seat folds forward. And I actually have a good amount of legroom back here. You can definitely fit 2 adults back here. You might even be able to fit 3, because while it's not super wide, you don't have a hump or anything like that. So legroom is still good, especially with the captain's chairs right here. You do have cup holders back here. One thing I had not mentioned in the second row that I'm realizing back here is there's no power ports back here. That's gonna be a tough sell for parents whose kids are distracted with their iPads on trips. Just something for you to keep in mind. So, should you consider the Pinnacle? Well, here's the thing. If you have young kids, yes, you absolutely should. Minivans provide a lot of great functionality specifically targeted towards young kids. For example, you have the sliding doors, so they're not going to be slamming the door into cars next to them at the shopping mall. You have really easy access to put in child seats and stuff like that. So if you have young kids, the Pacifica is definitely a great option. If you have 3 or more kids, the Pacifica is also a great option because there's lots of room. It's easy to get them in and out, way easier than an SUV. But if you only have 1 or 2 kids maybe, or your kids are older, an SUV might give you that higher up ride height. It might give you a little bit more off-roading capability maybe for when you want to go on those occasional family adventures. So then maybe you should be thinking more about something like the Dodge Durango. Keep an eye out for a review of that if it's not already posted. So when it comes to pricing, this vehicle comes out at $43,380. So expensive, but you are getting a lot of vehicle here. Let us know what you guys thought of this review in the comments below. We love chatting with you all. Let us know the minivans you grew up with, and we'd love to talk about that too. A huge thanks to everyone here at Oarsman Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Clarksville for letting us take a look at this 2021 Chrysler Pacifica. All right guys, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you in next week's video.